I heard somebody say recently something that really struck me, and I just thought it was a really simple idea, but actually it was really important, I think. And the idea was that you don't have to be better than your competition in order to have a successful business, in order to thrive. You don't need to be better. And yet, isn't that quite instinctive to think that if you're going to do well, you need to be better than someone else? And he had a different perspective, a different idea beyond being better that I do think is more useful and actually easier as well for us to use. But just talking about be better for a minute, if you think that the only way someone can be successful, can have a thriving business, is for them to be better than the competition, is that how you choose your suppliers? Is that how you decide who to support you or who to buy from? Do the people that you buy from have to be better than their competition? Chances are you may not even be aware of many of their other competition, and the chances are that's also true for you too. So it's actually hard, and probably unnecessarily hard, to be better than everybody else. So what's easier, and probably what's more important for your market than being better than your competition? And the idea was not to be better. You can be better, but you don't need to be better. The better idea was to be different from, but not just different for the sake of it. Different in a way that means something for your market, for your audience, for your ideal person, your ideal client. What are they looking for that you can provide where you're different from someone else? In what ways can you be different? Now, I know the idea of differentiation is really, talked about a lot. It's, many classic marketing case studies in that, for example. But I think it's usually simpler than that. We talk about USP, unique selling proposition. That's really quite conceptual. And for many people, it's really difficult to say, how do I differentiate myself? Well, perhaps the easiest way to be different is simply to understand what your audience and what your market and who the people you want to work with, what have they tried before to solve the problem that you solve? What have they tried? Who have they tried? And what didn't work about that? And then when you're clear and you understand why that didn't work, what was missing for them? And if you can provide some of that bit that's missing, you're different. And you've created a gap between you and everybody else who you may be perceived to be competing with. Truth is, I think, that actually when you become so meaningfully different for your audience, that actually you don't have competition in the usual sense. You're not competing at the same level because you're playing your game and you're being different. It's actually quite profound. And for those people that I've worked with that sort of really hook into this, where they become significantly different, meaningfully different for their market, suddenly the whole point about and the whole issue about competition and having competitors becomes much less significant, because you're promoting and you're talking about and you're emphasizing where you are different. And then when you're different, especially if the whole thing's packaged right, you're the only one who's the rational choice for them to solve that problem. I hope that's worthy of thought. It certainly makes a big difference in my own business and also people that I've worked with. So I offer that and hope that's helpful.